So let's talk about who's going to become involved in this situation. The first person is you. You, the homeowner, are going to be in the center of the claim situation, making many decisions, figuring out how to solve this problems to take your roof from damaged to completely fixed. The second one is the roofer, the contractor who's going to take care of your roof and actually do the work to fix your roof up. And the third is the insurance adjuster. The insurance company will put someone in charge of figuring out how to pay the claim for you. And that's the insurance adjuster. So that's the individual who represents the insurance company in this situation. So let's talk about the steps you're going to walk through. Step one, in my opinion, is to call a roofer. Roofers are the specialists, and they're going to be the one who can tell you what damage you're actually dealing with. So to me, I would call a local, well-known roofer that has a reputation in your town. They're absolutely fly-by-night roofers that roll in and knock on doors after hail claims or hail storms and tell people they're happy to take care of it. Those are not the people you want to work with. They often don't use quality products. There's nothing you can do if 3 months down the line you realize they didn't do the job well. Now they've disappeared and you can't find them. So call a local, reputable roofer and have them come out and take a look. Now, they might say one of a few things. They might come out and say, I don't see any damage to your roof. I don't think you have hail damage or wind damage in this situation. They may say, yeah, I see some hail damage. It's really bad, like the roof in this example. Clearly, we've got major problems going on here, and it will likely need to be replaced. Or they could say, yeah, there's a small amount of damage. I see it there. Likely we're going to repair it. So we might replace a few shingles or deal with a smaller repair rather than a complete replacement of your roof. So the roofer could give you a sense right off of, is there any damage at all? Is it a limited amount of damage, or is it likely that we're going to have to replace your roof? So step one is getting that estimate from your roofer. Step two is starting the claim. So this is kind of the parallel line. You've got the contractor, the roofer involved. The roofer is saying there's some damage that needs to be dealt with. And so step two is you're going to start an insurance claim. You may call your insurance company directly. You may call your local independent agent like I am and tell them the situation and make sure you have that claim. What's going to happen first is they're going to give you a claim number, which is what you refer to throughout the process. So that's an important bit of information to have. And they will likely schedule an insurance adjuster to come to your home. That adjuster is going to come out and take a look for themselves at the damage, what the extent of the damage is, and what needs to be dealt with. So that should happen second. And then step three, you're going to have the insurance adjuster come out. So let me give you a pro tip right here. Super important. Will help the process immensely. And it's really simply just be nice to your insurance adjuster. This is a person who has serious power in the scenario. Most insurance adjusters are great people, have your best interests in mind, and are going to take good care of you. But in all things, if we treat people nicely, they are more likely to treat us nicely as well. If we are combative with that person or treat them as if we distrust them, we could have a different kind of experience. So my advice, be nice to your insurance adjuster throughout the process, even if you disagree with something they say. Okay, so you're definitely going to be nice to this adjuster. Let's talk about what the possibilities are that the adjuster could say. The adjuster is first going to look at the damage to the roof and deem whether he or she agrees with the roofer. Oftentimes the roofer and the adjuster don't agree, and so you have to work through that. But in this case, let's just say that the adjuster agrees with the roofer. It's going to cost $8,000 to replace your roof. Now, I need to throw in real quickly a part of your insurance policy that we're going to talk about as we go through the different options, and that is your deductible. And all insurance policies have deductibles, and a deductible is the portion of damage that you agree to pay to fix. So you're agreeing that I will pay X amount, and the most common homeowner's deductible is $1,000, and that's the example we're going to use here. I agree to pay $1,000 of the damage, and you as the insurance company are going to pay then what your responsibility is above and beyond that amount. So deductibles are incredibly important to understand as you're trying to understand your roof coverage. So let's start with the worst coverage. Well, that would just be no wind, hail coverage at all. Your policy does not have coverage for wind or hail damage. Very common in high hurricane areas like Florida, but common in other places as well. So it's super important that you check out your insurance policy and make sure that you actually do have wind, hail coverage. If you don't have wind, hail coverage, the cost to replace your roof is $8,000. Insurance company obviously is going to pay zero. You are going to pay $8,000. It's kind of a bummer. Hopefully you have some coverage. So let's talk about the two different kinds of coverage that are there when you do have it. And the first one is called ACV, or actual cash value coverage. ACV coverage says your policy does have wind or hail coverage, but the insurance company is going to factor in the age of your roof and subtract the amount they pay out based on the age of the roof. So in this example, we have an $8,000 fix. The roofers say it's going to cost $8,000 to fix your roof, but let's say it's 10 years old. The insurance company is going to say, well, that 10-year-old roof is only actually worth $6,000, not the $8,000 it's going to cost to replace. And so they're only going to figure based on that $6,000, plus they'll subtract your deductible from what they pay out. $1,000 deductible is the example we're using here. And in the end, you end up paying $3,000 of that $8,000 out of your own pocket to fix your roof. So ACV coverage has coverage, and that's good. In this example, you still got $5,000 paid out from the insurance company, but it doesn't pay the entire replacement cost of the roof. And so that can be a surprise to people and a real negative for folks. Now, replacement cost coverage is what you want to see on your insurance policy. This says your policy has wind, hail coverage, and the insurance company pays to replace it, of course, minus the deductible, which we've talked about already. So in our example, the cost to replace the roof is $8,000. The insurance company is going to pay $8,000 minus your $1,000 deductible. So they're going to pay $7,000. You're going to pay $1,000, which is the best version of coverage for you. Replacement cost coverage is what you want to have because they're going to pay to replace the roof no matter the age of your roof. So check your insurance policy out and make sure it has replacement cost coverage. Now, how is this going to happen? Step 4 is actually fixing the roof. You've had the roofer come out. They said you had damage. You had the adjuster come out. They talked about your insurance policy, told you exactly what kind of coverage you have, and hopefully you had replacement cost coverage, and so we're going to get things fixed. And so we're going to talk about how this gets paid out because it can be confusing to people and kind of you feel like, what's going on here? So I'm going to make it real easy for you and lay it out. When the claim first starts, the adjuster is going to give you money, a check for the ACV value. If you have ACV coverage, that's all you're going to get. But if you have replacement cost coverage, you say, wait a minute, the whole point of having replacement cost coverage is to get the full amount to replace your roof minus the deductible. But I got this ACV check. What gives? Well, the insurance company is trying to make sure that you actually use the money to replace the roof. So they're incentivizing that process by holding back some of that replacement cost money and giving it to you after the roof is fixed. So you're going to give the money to the roofer, and then the roofer is going to go and they're going to get that work done. So they're going to do some work and get rid of that damage, fix the roof on that side, then fix the roof on that side, and the roof is completely fixed. Everything is done. At that point, either you or the roofer is going to send the final tally to the insurance company, and the insurance company is going to write you a second check. They're going to write a check for the rest of the replacement cost of the roof, and then you're going to pass that on to the roofer plus your deductible, generally $1,000, and the situation will be resolved. Now, one last little piece about fixing your roof. Sometimes those checks from the insurance company include the mortgage company's name on the check. And that can be kind of a pain because you've got to work that out. Well, they're protecting the interest of the mortgage company in your house. They've got a mortgage on the house. They're using that house as collateral. If you don't fix your roof and you've got a beat up roof, then their collateral isn't as good. So the mortgage companies want to know that they're taken care of, and that's why their name sometimes is on a claim check. All right, so your roof is all fixed. Everything's taken care of. The claim is over. Finally, our rookie mistake, and this is an obvious one, not paying attention to wind hail coverage on your policy. Take a look at your policy right now. Pause this video, go look at it, figure out what kind of wind hail coverage you have so you know in a claim situation what will happen. And if you don't like the coverage that you have, you can fix it now instead of after the damage has happened. All right?